It's about 6:30 p.m. right now, and at the moment, everything is completely dark, and the only thing lighting the streets of this ugly city are those two windows right there and my room. But in about 5 hours or so, those lights right there will be completely turned off, and the only light that will be turned on will be mine, because I fall asleep at about 2 a.m. in the morning. If you can tell, there's a huge problem with my room, and that's the fact that all those people outside, in their fucking rooms, can see my room completely well. They can see my bed, they can see my floor, they can see my clothes, they can see my desk. But the only thing I can see from them is their ceiling. And that's weird. I guess I haven't known privacy for the past 5 years that I've lived here. The only thing that I slightly care about is that short period of time between 10 p.m. till like 4 a.m. in the morning, in which everything is turned off but my room. It's pretty fucking scary because I'm scared of the dark. I know I'm 23 years old and I still can't manage darkness. And when everything is dark outside, the bad thing is that you can't see anybody. But if anyone's out there, they can see you completely well. That particular feeling is shown in a movie called The Sitter, which was made back in 1977 by a guy called Fred Walton. And there's a particular scene in which this babysitter, portrayed by Sophia Strasser, is looking outside the window. After getting these weird phone calls, she gets pretty scared, and when she decides to look out the window to see if something's going on, surprise, surprise, everything is dark and she can't see anything. But the bad thing about this is that if someone is outside, they can definitely see her completely. That's how I feel every single night, from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. if I'm still wake up at that time. Now, the reason why I mentioned that movie is really not because I am pretentious, although I am a little bit. It's not because I'm trying too hard to be different, and it's definitely not because I want to show off how much I know about movies. The reason why I mentioned that movie is because I think it's pretty cool, and it's short, and I think you should watch it. Okay, it's genuinely a good recommendation for you to just watch and see if you like it. I feel like there's this huge misconception on the way people talk about their favorite films, especially if that film is foreign or is obscure or is from the 60s or whatever. If you haven't seen the letterboxd trend, then I'm gonna explain it pretty fast to you. Letterboxd has done this interview trend on TikTok and Instagram in which they ask a bunch of directors, actors, and actresses in red carpets or whatever event about their four favorite films.
Four of my favorite movies.
My four favorite films ever?
And it seems that sometimes some people's response to these videos is pretty divisive, especially if these actors mention random movies from the 60s nobody's ever heard of.
So tired of, what are your four favorite films? J'ai vu La Petite. It's a French film from the 1800s.
These directors, these actors, probably know more about film than most of us, first of all.
Greatest juvenile performance of all time. Matt Dillon, Rumblefish.
And second of all, these actors are not in high school anymore, okay? These actors don't need to try to be cool, okay? They don't care about the status because they already have it. They made it, okay? They're in Hollywood right now, okay? They made it as human beings. There's no reason for them to lie because they don't need to pretend to be someone they're not, because they are already someone that's pretty fucking cool. They're a fucking actor. So yeah, first of all that, they have no reason to lie of what their favorite films are, in my opinion, and I think. Now, my third point is that, I think we should just believe people more. And also, the reason why these actors mention random films from the 60s, as you call it, is more for us than it is for them. in the sense that usually they just are generally trying to recommend you stuff.
Life Aquatic. Oh ho ho! I think I have a copy, but I love this movie. It's the first time I worked with Wes Anderson, but at the end it lands emotionally in a way that is incredible. This movie should be seen more.
They genuinely care about the audience, and they just want to show the real self to people. Because, I think that some high schoolers don't understand this, but the older you get, the less energy you have to pretend to be someone you're not. The older you get, the less energy you have to make up lies. And there's no point for these actors to lie, okay? Now, if we completely stop talking about actors and start to talk about people, I do believe that some people lie about their favorite movies, okay? I think people do it more like, people do it, not a lot, but they definitely pretend to like things that they don't really like. It's a very common thing to do when you're figuring out who you are as a person. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's not forget, the reason why people lie about their favorite movies is not because of them, but because of, there's a lot of judgment out there. And by judging them more, we won't solve an issue. Because let's be a little bit honest here. The reason why people lie about their favorite movies and start to mention random movies that nobody's ever heard of is because maybe they're scared to be judged by people calling them too basic. And the reason why other people are scared to mention weird movies is because they're scared to be judged by people by calling them tryhards or wannabes or posers. Okay, so I think it's one of those problems that can definitely show up in both sides of the spectrum. It's definitely a judgment problem.
Yeah, no shit you don't like me. Your letterbox looks like this. You're literally everything I've set out to, hate on. I mean, this is just like a TikTok movie blender, I don't know. Very much AI core. Yeah, I mean, no wonder you don't like me.
I know we live in a very performative society. I know that everything is an act and a mask, and I know we never really show ourselves completely transparent in the way we are. I know that sometimes we can lie about the music we listen to. I mean, just look at the Spotify Wrapped thing, some people pretending or forcing themselves to listen to some artists, so their Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year is like the artist they actually like, which completely defeats the purpose of why Spotify Wrapped is a cool thing to have.
This is your reminder that you have less than a week before Spotify stops counting statistics for Spotify Wrapped, which means you have a lot of work to do to fix your stats. This is how I'm sitting. Sitting pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with how this year turned out.
Spotify Wrapped should be for you, not for other people. And the movies you like should be for you, and not for other people. But you can share them with other people. But let's not forget, you should only share them if they're the truth at the end of the day. Believe people more, okay? Genuinely.
Fine, Mario. This one.
I hate this guy. He always looks like he has to take the hugest shit.
Hey,
Why don't you ever let me pick?
you guys finding everything okay today?
Do you work here?
No.
What should we get, man?
You're looking for a comedy? Oh! Ooh, have you ever seen Happiness by Todd Solondz?
No.
No.
It's this really amazing movie about all these people living in LA who are super messed up. There's a dad in the movie who's an actual pedophile who wants to have sex with his son. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's always calling people on the phone while he masturbates. But it's also really hopeful. You really care about all these characters, which I think makes it so much worse. You know what? It speaks for itself. Enrich your child.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let yourself enjoy Paddington 2, but also Miss 45. Let yourself enjoy Project X, but also Eraserhead. Let yourself enjoy Super Bad, but also All Joy. Let yourself enjoy Possession, but also Red Rocket. let yourself enjoy everything and let yourself share it to other people with absolute transparency and certainty. And just stop trying to believe people are pretending all the time. Because if we don't believe what people like, what's the fucking point?
Some friends of mine asked me for a film recommendation. I said, watch Close Up, like there's no way you won't have a great time. And they were like, no, we did, kind of like it wasn't the right vibe.
Oh, I'm Edgar Wright.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know this man?
This is a crazy fucking movie. Here's David Lynch. We can't go any more time without talking about David.
This blackboard lacks a piece of chalk. Ba, 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 ba.
This is the movie that I think really pushed me over the edge and made me go, I want to be an actor.
Oh, Antichrist is not... It's just for laughs.
And I wanted to just find a collection that matched my shirt perfectly.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra.